Welcome back to BMB Spoilers channel. Today we will learn about the issues surrounding Hope Logan's potential departure from Forrester Creations and her complicated relationship with Carter Walton. The drama continues to unfold in ways that might reshape the landscape of this beloved soap opera. Hope's potential life-changing decision. Hope Logan stands at a crucial crossroads that could dramatically alter her professional and personal trajectory. After experiencing a taste of authority alongside Carter, the prospect of returning to a subordinate position under Steffi's leadership appears increasingly intolerable for her. This internal conflict isn't merely about professional pride, it represents years of accumulated frustration and a desire for self-determination that has been building within Hope's character. The possibility of Hope delivering life-altering news to Carter looms large on the horizon. This announcement could potentially shatter their relationship and completely transform Hope's career path. The emotional weight of such a decision would undoubtedly create ripple effects throughout the entire Forrester ecosystem, potentially destabilizing alliances and creating new power dynamics within the company's structure. The crumbling partnership with Carter. Carter's recent betrayal has struck at the core of Hope's trust. What began as a promising alliance has deteriorated into yet another disappointment for Hope. Their grand plans and shared visions have begun disintegrating before their eyes, leaving both parties to question what remains of their connection. The relationship between Hope and Carter was built on mutual ambition and respect, qualities that seem to have diminished with Carter's recent decisions. His capitulation to the Forrester family's demands represents more than just a business decision, it symbolizes a fundamental breach of the understanding that had formed the foundation of their partnership. This betrayal cuts especially deep considering the personal investment Hope had made in their shared future. Carter's involvement with Daphne Rose has only compounded the fractures in his relationship with Hope. These personal entanglements have created additional complications that further strain their already tenuous connection. The combination of professional disappointment and personal betrayal may prove too substantial for Hope to overlook. Steffi's continued interference. The ongoing rivalry between Hope and Steffi continues to be a significant source of tension. Their upcoming confrontation promises to reignite long-standing conflicts and potentially serve as the final catalyst for Hope's departure. Years of competitive friction have created a situation where peaceful coexistence seems increasingly impossible. Steffi's management style and approach to Hope's line have consistently undermined Hope's creative vision and autonomy. This persistent pattern of interference has created an environment where Hope feels perpetually diminished and undervalued. The prospect of continuing under these conditions appears increasingly untenable for someone who has begun to recognize her own worth and potential. The power dynamics between these two strong-willed women have always been complex, but recent developments have tilted the balance in ways that make reconciliation seem unlikely. Hope's growing awareness of her own capabilities has made Steffi's controlling behavior all the more difficult to accept. The future of Hope for the future. The fashion line that once represented Hope's dreams and aspirations now stands as a symbol of ongoing conflict and frustration. What began as a creative outlet and professional achievement has transformed into a battleground where Hope consistently finds herself fighting for respect and recognition. After years of struggling to maintain her vision for the line against constant opposition, Hope may have reached her breaking point. The emotional and professional toll of these persistent conflicts has potentially exhausted her patience and determination. The once cherished fashion line might now represent a chapter of her life that needs to close for her personal growth to continue. Should Hope decide to abandon the line, it would mark the end of an era not just for her character but for the entire narrative structure of the show. The implications would extend beyond her personal journey to affect numerous other characters and storylines. Forging a new path. The possibility of Hope striking out on her own presents intriguing narrative potential. After years of operating within the constraints of the Forrester empire, an independent Hope could explore new creative directions and business ventures that better align with her evolved sense of self. This potential new chapter would allow Hope to redefine herself outside the shadow of the Forrester name and the limitations of her rivalry with Steffi. Such a transformation could introduce fresh dynamics and relationships into the storyline while allowing Hope's character to develop in previously unexplored directions. The courage required to walk away from the security and prestige of Forrester Creations would demonstrate significant character growth for Hope. This bold move would showcase her resilience and determination to create a life and career on her own terms, regardless of the challenges such a decision might entail. Implications for the broader canvas. Hope's potential departure would create significant ripples throughout the show's narrative landscape. The power vacuum left at Forrester Creations could trigger new conflicts and alliances, while Hope's absence would fundamentally alter the dynamic between remaining characters. Carter would face the professional and personal consequences of his decisions, potentially leading to character development as he grapples with the results of his choices. Similarly, Steffi might find that victory over Hope brings unexpected complications and responsibilities that challenge her own character growth. The Forrester family dynamics would necessarily shift in response to these changes, creating opportunities for new storylines and character interactions. Hope's absence could highlight previously underexplored relationships and conflicts within the remaining cast of characters. As viewers, we can only wait with bated breath to see whether Hope will indeed make this life-altering decision. The coming episodes promise emotional confrontations and potentially game-changing revelations that could permanently alter the landscape of the bold and the beautiful. Stay tuned for more updates as this compelling storyline continues to unfold in unexpected ways. Next, we will learn about the issues surrounding Sheila Carter Sharp's unexpected family reunion and the potential consequences it might bring to her marriage with Deacon. When Deacon Sharp discovers the truth about his wife's secret arrangement, the fallout could be catastrophic for their relationship. Sheila's decision to harbor her newly discovered granddaughter might ultimately cost her everything she's built with her husband. Deacon has repeatedly expressed his disgust whenever Poppy Nozawa crosses his path, as she instantly reminds him of the tragic deaths of Paul Hollis Hollister and Tom Starr. Now, with Luna Nozawa entering their lives, Sheila faces an impossible choice between family loyalty and marital harmony. The apartment above Il Giardino has housed various residents over time, most recently Remy Price, and currently sits vacant. This convenient space provides Sheila with the perfect opportunity to offer Luna shelter, though she undoubtedly realizes she must keep this arrangement hidden from Deacon. The secrecy required for this arrangement plants the seeds for what could become a devastating betrayal in Deacon's eyes when the truth inevitably emerges. Luna's strategic approach to seeking refuge with Sheila demonstrates remarkable psychological insight. By approaching her paternal grandmother, a woman notorious for craving familial connections, Luna plays directly into Sheila's deepest emotional vulnerabilities. Despite Sheila's initial horror at Luna's crimes, the revelation of their biological connection creates a powerful emotional dilemma that Luna cleverly exploits to secure housing. The young woman's homelessness stems from her complicated legal situation. Though technically free following Bill Spencer's unorthodox rehabilitation efforts, Luna finds herself rejected by virtually everyone in her life. Bill's approach to Luna's reformation raises interesting questions about justice, rehabilitation, and forgiveness. His methods, while seemingly effective in a controlled environment, leave uncertainty about Luna's genuine transformation and her ability to maintain this reformed behavior in the unpredictable real world. When Luna appeared at Il Giardino, Sheila's first instinct was to contact authorities, revealing her initial moral stance against harboring someone with Luna's history. However, the bombshell revelation of their familial connection visibly shook Sheila, creating a fascinating psychological conflict between her newfound respectability and her deep-seated desire for family connections. The preview clip showing Sheila's enthusiastic reaction raises questions about her sincerity. Could this be merely a performance before ultimately rejecting Luna? The family trauma card represents Luna's most powerful weapon in her arsenal of persuasion. By emphasizing their shared genetic heritage and the psychological wounds they both carry, Luna creates a compelling emotional narrative that makes rejection nearly impossible for someone with Sheila's background and psychological profile. This manipulation demonstrates Luna's cunning intelligence and survival instincts, traits she perhaps inherited from her grandmother. Sheila's complex history makes her uniquely vulnerable to Luna's appeal. Despite her reformed lifestyle with Deacon, Sheila's longing for genetic connections mirrors the same yearning that has driven Finn throughout his life. This parallel between grandmother and grandson adds another layer of psychological complexity to the unfolding drama, suggesting that certain emotional needs transcend generations regardless of upbringing. Bill Spencer's involvement in Luna's rehabilitation represents an intriguing subplot in this developing drama. His self-appointed role as Luna's therapist and moral guide reflects his characteristic confidence and control-seeking behavior. However, his methods raise ethical questions about vigilante justice and psychological manipulation, regardless of how well-intentioned his efforts might have been. The Bold and the Beautiful continues to explore themes of redemption, family loyalty, and the consequences of deception through this compelling storyline. As Sheila navigates this precarious situation, viewers are left wondering whether her newfound happiness with Deacon can survive this latest complication, or if her instinctive pull toward family will once again lead to her downfall. The stage is set for dramatic confrontations and heart-wrenching choices that will test the limits of love, loyalty, and forgiveness in ways that only the bold and the beautiful can deliver. Next, we will learn about the issue of Bill and Katie's potential reunion on Bold and the Beautiful, diving deep into their turbulent history and examining whether these star-crossed lovers deserve another chance at happiness. The possibility of a Beatty renaissance. The magnetic pull between Bill Spencer and Katie Logan defies conventional relationship logic. Despite weathering storms that would sink most couples permanently, their emotional connection continues to simmer beneath the surface, occasionally erupting into passionate reconciliations that tantalize viewers with possibilities. This resilient bond between them raises fascinating questions about the nature of love itself. Can some connections truly never be broken, regardless of the damage inflicted? Industry insiders have noted that the chemistry between Don Diamond and Heather Tom remains electric even after all these years, providing producers with compelling reasons to revisit this pairing. The actors themselves have hinted in recent interviews that they enjoy the complex emotional landscape their characters navigate together, suggesting that behind-the-scenes support for a reunion exists. Fan forums have been buzzing with speculation about a potential reconciliation, with viewer polls showing a surprising 68% in favor of giving Beatty another chance. This audience investment demonstrates the storytelling power of redemption arcs and the human desire to believe people can change, even fictional characters with decades of problematic behavior. If the writers choose to pursue this storyline, viewers might witness a reunion that incorporates the maturity and wisdom both characters have ostensibly gained through their separate journeys. The potential for growth, healing, and transformation provides rich narrative territory that could elevate their relationship beyond the cyclical pattern of betrayal and forgiveness that has defined it historically. However, skeptics rightfully point out that their reconciliations typically last approximately 6 months before imploding spectacularly, usually involving Brooke in some capacity. This predictable pattern raises legitimate concerns about whether the couple is truly capable of breaking free from their destructive cycles or if they're doomed to repeat history indefinitely. The labyrinthine complexity of their relationship. Bill and Katie's relationship history resembles an emotional roller coaster designed by someone with a particularly twisted sense of humor. Their love story has never followed a linear trajectory but rather resembles a complex maze with unexpected turns, dead ends, and occasional moments of breathtaking clarity before plunging back into chaos. Their initial romance blossomed unexpectedly, with the ruthless publishing magnate finding himself captivated by Katie's authenticity and moral compass, qualities starkly contrasting his own cutthroat approach to life. This opposites attract dynamic created a compelling foundation, with Katie seemingly able to access Bill's carefully hidden capacity for tenderness and vulnerability. The birth of their son will further complicate their emotional landscape, creating a permanent bond that transcends their romantic entanglements. Parenting has occasionally brought out Bill's better angels, though his commitment to fatherhood has fluctuated dramatically depending on which woman currently occupies his attention. Their shared history includes Katie's heart transplant, receiving the heart of her brother Storm, alcoholism struggles, postpartum depression, custody battles, and multiple betrayals, a tapestry of trauma and triumph that creates an unusually complex foundation for any potential reconciliation. Mental health professionals might suggest that this shared trauma creates a powerful psychological bond that's difficult to break, even when logic dictates separation. Recent storylines have placed them in proximity again through business dealings at Spencer Publications, with subtle hints of lingering attraction peppered throughout their professional interactions. The writers have carefully crafted scenes showcasing meaningful glances and unspoken tension, suggesting that despite everything, the ember of their connection remains unextinguished. Bill's catastrophic decision-making chronicles Bill Spencer's reputation for questionable judgment extends far beyond his romantic entanglements, though his love life certainly showcases his most spectacular failures of discernment. His pattern of infidelity with Katie's sister Brooke represents perhaps the most egregious betrayal possible within family boundaries, violating not only marital vows but also sacred sisterly trust. This triangular dynamic has played out repeatedly over the years, with Bill seemingly incapable of definitively choosing between the Logan sisters. Psychological analysis might suggest that Bill's attraction to both women stems from their complementary qualities, Katie representing stability, integrity, and emotional depth, while Brooke embodies passion, spontaneity, and a moral flexibility that mirrors his own. The Luna situation, a new low. Bill's recent involvement with Luna demonstrated an alarming deterioration in his already questionable judgment. While under house arrest himself, a situation that would prompt most individuals to maintain an exceptionally low profile, Bill inexplicably offered sanctuary to a woman facing murder charges. This decision exposed not only himself to potential legal jeopardy but also jeopardized custody arrangements with his son Will. His subsequent machinations to secure Luna's pardon crossed ethical and possibly legal boundaries, revealing a troubling willingness to manipulate the justice system for personal reasons. This God-complex behavior suggests Bill still fundamentally believes rules apply to others but not to himself, hardly the mindset of a man who has learned from past mistakes. Financial and business decisions. Beyond his personal life, Bill's business decisions have grown increasingly erratic. Once renowned for his sharp business acumen and strategic brilliance, recent years have seen him make impulsive choices driven more by emotion than sound business logic. His willingness to leverage Spencer Publications in service of personal vendettas has alarmed shareholders and raised questions about his fitness to lead the company he built. Industry analysts have noted a correlation between Bill's romantic turmoil and poor business performance, suggesting his emotional state directly impacts his professional judgment. This interconnection between personal chaos and professional instability creates additional concerns about whether he's truly capable of providing the stability Katie deserves. Katie's perspective, love versus self-preservation. Katie Logan's journey represents one of the most profound character evolutions in daytime television. Once defined primarily by her relationship to her more glamorous sisters, Katie has emerged as a formidable businesswoman, devoted mother, and woman of remarkable resilience who has survived both literal and figurative heartbreaks. Her continued emotional attachment to Bill despite overwhelming evidence that he's incapable of sustained fidelity raises fascinating questions about the nature of love and attachment. Psychologists might identify elements of trauma bonding in their relationship, with the intensity of their reconciliations reinforcing neural pathways that make separation increasingly difficult despite rational understanding of the relationship's toxicity. The emotional cost. Each betrayal has exacted a significant emotional toll on Katie, with her trust issues extending beyond her relationship with Bill to impact other areas of her life. Her health concerns, particularly her heart condition, have been exacerbated by emotional stress, creating a literal physical manifestation of her heartbreak. Medical professionals have advised her that continued emotional turbulence could have serious health implications, adding another layer of complexity to any reconciliation consideration. Katie's therapy journey has been extensively documented, with viewers witnessing her growing self-awareness and attempts to establish healthier boundaries. Her therapist has reportedly encouraged her to consider whether her attachment to Bill represents genuine love or a maladaptive pattern stemming from unresolved issues around abandonment and worthiness.